and welcome back to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. I'm your host, Tony, and with me sometimes is my lovely co-host with the most, Heather. How you doing, Heather? Great to have you back.
It's good to be back. I have definitely missed being with you, being here. So I'm thankful. I'm glad that you guys are all tuning in. It's good to be here. I actually was scheduled to work the night shift tonight, but they figured out to get me in at 8 until 5, so that was nice. Had a nice short day and was able to make it here, so
Very nice.
that made me happy. So I'll be here tonight, I'll be here next week, and then I'll be, I think, heading to the island by then.
You're going to Wiener Island.
I'm going to the Wheat Island. So, but first, before we get into talking about all of that fantastic stuff,
Yes.
how has your week been, little buddy?
Holy cow, my week has been just wow. Let's get into it. Hold on, I gotta fix the. And of course, you think I would have all of this other stuff done. Come on, do the thing. There we go. Now it's working full screen. No, my week has been absolutely insane. I had to deal with some family stuff at the beginning of the week, so unfortunately we didn't do SMD, but I did do the podcast with Guy. Shout out to Guy if he's in chat. Love, love, love you. And we need to finish that conversation, good sir, because that was a great show, though. I thought so. And, it was funny. Because, he said several times over, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I have enough stuff to drive the conversation forward. Mm-hmm. And, we've done this how many squazillions of times. And we think the same thing every episode. And yet an hour and a half goes by like that.
It does. It goes by really super quick. And, it's just navigating it, figuring out, we'll get into a little bit more about the origin of the Don't Make This Weird podcast after you finish your talking about your week.
Yeah. So, did Guitar Fridays. You guys showed up in fine form and fashion as usual, which I can't say thank you enough. I mean, sincerely, you guys, you don't have to, but you choose to, and that's an amazing decision. So thank you from the bottom of my 6-string heart. And then Tuesday, unfortunately, could not do Rule of Cool because the internet was down.
Yeah.
That was rather annoying. We did Jerk It last night, which was so much fun. And the question that kept bouncing around the foursome of the conversation between you, me, Mr. Guy, and Editor Jay was, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. You, not to me.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is it kept coming back to me. Yeah. So, and here we are, Thursday. It's been, I've been working and trying to get stuff done. Obviously, there's some personal stuff that I'm dealing with that I don't want to really get into on the old microphone here. But aside from that, I'm doing okay. I'm doing well and moving through it as best as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. So how was your week, little buddy?
Well, my week's been just it's been interesting. Navigating the work and I, honestly, for those of you that are listening, I think I've said a while now that I've been working on getting back home because Caro is my home.
Yes.
And it's closer to my dad. It's closer to the studio. I mean, where I'm going to be landing when I do finally get back is 2 blocks from you, so I can just walk over to your house and fucking annoy you, which is great. I love
it. Bring it. It is an invitation more than welcome.
So, thankfully, there is a gorgeous house two blocks away from you that has been able to work out for when I am able to get back. So I'm trying to navigate that. Marshall's has been a really good company for me. Just the move up here has just not been something that I can continue to keep on doing. I always say advocate for yourself. and, to figure out what works best for you in your life.
Yeah.
And, I'm thankful. The opportunity has been amazing. I'm never going to say that it hasn't been. But for me, part of my week has been, navigating that and trying to figure out, what's the best scenario for myself. And I know, and I'm sure people have been through this before too. When you just know you're not happy and you need to change something in your life, you just kind of have to buckle down sometimes and try to figure out like that direction. So that's been part of my week, is just trying to be okay with, if I have to let go of some things, let go of some things. But mental health is very important. We just got past, last month was a mental health awareness. So, that was it's super important to make sure that you're always taking care of yourself. So, I've been navigating that work, getting ready for the island, and trying to figure out what's going to bring the most peace. So, I haven't made anything in a while. I haven't created in a while, and I know that that's just something I need to work on. So, navigating that, I had a doctor's appointment down that way. Had to get that taken care of. My truck is still not acting happy. It does not like going up these hills. It does not like running up those hills. It chugs along, and I'm still trying to figure that out. And also on the way back from my doctor's appointment, the back of my truck has been kind of like, does a little wavy thing in the back. I took out some of the cat litter from the winter, trying to donate that. It was not donation worthy after being in the
Damn.
back of my truck. Yeah, I was hoping it would work out, but it didn't. So I mean, it's been interesting coming back and forth. I got to see you a little bit more. We
Yes.
did Cars and Crafts weekend. That was interesting. There's a lot of really cool stuff that they had out for the sidewalk sales. I'll be honest, I think I bought something almost at every. I was supporting local
Supporting
in my
local. That's what we do.
in my shopping fix. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But a lot of really cool people there. A lot of really cool things that they had.
And did a little reconnecting with some old friends.
We did, yeah. We got to see the Ryans.
Yes.
Absolutely freaking love those guys. And it was good. It was good to hear that they're doing well with what they're doing,
Yes.
Because I met them when I worked at Walmart, and they are only like down to like 2 days or something, and they're able to do all the other stuff that they love. So that's really cool. I'm really happy to see. It was really good to see them. And it was good to just walk around with you, Melissa, and just kind of be back in town for a minute.
It was great.
So I love that. It brings me peace. Like, I know that it's the right thing when I'm driving into town and I just feel like I could breathe again. So
We've
So,
got
yeah.
chat
Oh.
blowing up. I love it.
oh God,
What do we
are
got
doing
here? Go ahead and jump in.
All right, so I'm gonna go over here to the YouTubes. I thought, okay, Baghead says, "Sup, weirdos." I said, "Hello, weirdos." Brandon says, "Hola, los weirdos," and Mr. Guy says, "Hello, weirdos." Baghead says, "Hi, Mr. Guy, hi," and Mr. Guy says, "194 days to hi, Guy." Brandon says, "Welcome to my life, Guy. Every time I co-host, I spend the first half hour or so checking the time because I'm certain I'm gonna run out of things to say." And Mr. Guy says, "2 blocks away. Can I come too? Tony is pretty awesome."
Yeah.
Sure. Pack your stuff.
Pack your stuff. Get over here.
Nice. Dave says, "Hey guys, doing a drive-by. We will be back in an hour." Oh, and Heather, you look beautiful as usual. Thank you, Dave. So nice to me. And Dawn says, "Hi guys." I love
Nice.
when Dave shows up and because he's always like, he boosts my ego. He's like, "You're beautiful. You're a vixen. Heather, you look great." Who doesn't want that kind of friend around? They're like,
I'll send you the $50 in the mail, Dave. Thanks for saying all that stuff.
$50. All right. So, yeah,
No,
basically that's
here's the thing, and I'm saying this from a friend standpoint. Everybody
you're talking about
tunes into
ugly.
this show not to see my ugly mug. They tune in to see your beautiful face.
Ugh. I thought you were just gonna. I was like, oh, here it comes. He's gonna tell me I'm ugly.
No, no. Everybody tunes in to see your beautiful face, and when you're not there, they're like,
You guys
"Hey,
are
can we get that
nuts.
hot shit back on? Because obviously, this butt of face ain't working."
No, they do whatever. And Dave says he's the ego booster. Thank you, Dave. I
That's
do like
right. See,
that.
Dave gets
We
it.
going to the island.
Going to Wiener Island.
Is Vixen a compliment? I don't know if
It
it is
is.
or not. Is
Yes, it
it?
is because they were a great '80s rock and roll band.
Vixen was. I actually. So my first concert at the age of 6
Nice.
was Ozzy, White Lion, and Vixen.
Fuck
That
yeah.
is showing my age.
Hell
Absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah. But yeah,
Louder,
this
louder
was a
over
little
on
bit of my
Twitch
week.
says, howdy, strange friends. And
Yeah.
Tim Lauder over there on Facebook land says, shut up, Brandon.
Aw.
So apparently that's a thing. But yeah, here we are, guys. Episode, God, whatever. Holy cow, episode 329. How do we have this many episodes between the two of us?
I don't know, honestly. And if we sat down and actually counted all of the episodes from everything that we've done, actually, I'm just gonna give you like, because you have put in way more time into the channel than I have been able to with working the crazy ass hours that I have.
Well,
So I do
that's not
appreciate
true
it because
because prior to that, you ran your own show for what, almost 80 or 90 episodes? I don't remember how much
80
it
or
was.
90 episodes, yes. But, in that time, like I was doing I was working at Bronner's, and like the seasons at Bronner's, the
Mhm.
beginning was slow, but towards the end, I was working like 16 hours,
Yep.
a day sometimes. So, and then going from there to working like 10 to 12 a day, 5 to 6 days a week.
Yep.
It's been nuts. So, and I do like I wish I could have a little bit more time to be more creative and share, but hey, you're still still putting the work in, and people are coming to see you, so you can't just say it's me.
It is you. Because, I mean, here's the thing. I don't talk a whole lot for like Guitar Fridays. I just play guitar, and that's apparently a thing. In fact, I ran into a couple of people today that were like, "Hey, you still doing that Guitar Fridays thing? Because that was really cool, and I want to tune into you if you're still doing it." I'm like, "Yeah," and they're
That's
like,
cool.
"Well, cool. Do you give guitar lessons?"
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, "Funny you should say that. I actually dropped some new content on Patreon. So if you want to become a patron and get the paid content." I can jump in and do some more guitar lessons, which I plan on doing at some point. But I've just been so fucking busy with everything.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. And because I am not quite at that place yet,
Yeah.
back in Caro, I've also been like, hey, Tony, if I give you the cash, will you do my, mow the lawn?
Yeah. So, breaking the back and doing the pick heavy stuff up and put heavy stuff down, and then also getting grass everywhere, which, I mean, it is what it is. I'm completely okay with that.
I mean, I appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's very much appreciated. So, but yeah, so you've been putting in the work, doing Guitar Fridays, doing all these different things, shows. We haven't been able to do the fuck was I gonna say? The other show.
Which one?
Chill Stream.
Oh,
We
yeah,
haven't been
yeah,
able to
yeah.
do Chill Stream for a little while. But we have jumped on, like you said, on Jerks.
Yep.
Last night was fun. I had a lot of fun hanging out over there with you guys.
Yeah, that was great with Jay.
Yeah, I couldn't remember my password for Arena. That tells you how much I've played.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get on to actually accept any challenges or to give any challenges. So, which I'm not really a challenge because I haven't played in so long or built any kind of decks over there.
Melissa
But
says the same thing, and yet she is absolutely brutal when you sit down to play real cardboard with her. And I'm just going, here's the thing, sweetheart. Whether or not you see it, you're an absolute brutal player.
Yeah, absolutely. She definitely can hold her own when it comes to playing. And I haven't thrown cardboard in since the last time I was back before the guys came. So
I think that's one of the last times that I threw cardboard.
Yeah, that was the last time I threw cardboard. That was a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I
Well, I mean,
learned.
well, I take that back. Me and the missus threw some cardboard. But like we were both so freaking tired because apparently, being up at 4 and 5 a.m. When you're trying to get some good sleep.
So bad.
Yeah, right,
It's
exactly. You're just like, you know what? I'm tired. Why am I up at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning? You know,
mhm.
of course, I guess when your body's trained for those hours,
Yeah.
come 9 o'clock, 9:30, you're like, you know what? My ass is going to bed.
Yeah. And that's one of the weird things too. Like for me, my schedule, my sleep schedule is weird. I don't think there's ever times where I'm just like tapping out and being like, all right, good night. It's like it's very, very seldom when I do that. Most people are in bed before I even get there.
Give it a
So,
couple of years. You'll be like, you know what? Fuck you. I need sleep.
but there are days though where like my adrenal is just completely I'm
Hmm.
done. So I actually will have like before I came back the other day, I was just like, I slept like I fell back asleep. I couldn't
Hmm.
couldn't get up for the life of me, and I was like, yep, it's this time already, and I have got to go. So
Yeah, I feel that.
yeah,
Well, I mean, this morning I was up really early, as you can tell. Now I'm yawning.
hmm
No, I was up. God, I got up at 5, I think it was,
oh, okay,
and
yeah,
worked out, did my devotion, and worked on getting the rest of my schedule together because then I had to help teach the class today, which was funny
yeah,
because I got there and I didn't end up teaching the class because they had another guest pastor come in and sit down, and I was like, wow, this is great. I could just sit back and be part of
yeah.
the AC conversation because the AB conversation is being handled. So I'm good with all that. Because
Sometimes it's
sometimes
nice when that
I need to
happens.
learn too. And I'm okay with that because teach me, man. School's in session. Let's go.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I like sometimes I like those times. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I love being able to do interviews and stuff, which I'm looking forward to when I'm back in the area.
Yes.
But sometimes it was just really nice because then you would get we get that little bit of a break while the band was actually playing, or
Yes.
that kind of stuff. But it was good though because we would help bring our audience for them to be listening,
Yes.
and to hear their music as well. So I'm looking forward to being able to get back into doing those things.
Well, and that's what's been really hard about that is obviously we've got this to where we're able to uh close the gap literally to a couple of millimeters on screen so you guys can see both of us in the same place. And even though you're 3.5 hours away, we can
Yeah,
still be in real time chit chatting and you guys are seeing us and you're enjoying the conversations. And I mean, a lot of the times, guys, this is the first time during the week where we're actually able to have some FaceTime and go, hey, how the hell you been? I missed you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, since I've been up here, this is generally like our catch up session, which is I'm thankful that you guys hang out with us and are here to listen to us as we do kind of just pick up and talk about what's been happening because it's kind of a little bit harder with working and everything else, and we don't see each other. We've seen each other more like
Yeah.
this past like month and a half, but it's nice to be able to be here and have these conversations. And then, we have chat joining in, telling us like different things about our conversation that they want to throw in there, which is cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a great way to engage not only with each other but with you guys too. And I mean, the fact that God, I remember it so vividly when we first started this whole process all those years ago. And you and I looked at each other and it's like, who's going to find our conversations interesting?
Right? Yeah. 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 I mean, it was definitely one of those things where we were just like, I don't know who's going to want to listen to us talk about all this stuff, but here we are after all this time, and I'm thankful that we do have people that continue to keep on jumping in and support the channel, and I love having those conversations, even if it is, talking with chat and everybody, because it's building, it builds the community, and then it involves. So it's a lot of fun. Even when they call me things or make me read weird shit, I still enjoy it.
Well, that's the best part about that is being on the level with our audience and whatnot. And I mean, there's
Hmm.
been so many different projects and other shows that we were working on that we're trying to get out of production. Hell, like just tossing it out to you guys, and if you're in chat, please chime in, because a lot of the stuff that we do with this show is we try to keep the religious and the political BS out of the conversation and the narrative, where we're just going to sit here and have good conversation, maybe some dick and fart jokes, and it's entertainment. It's meant to be entertaining. We're meant to laugh at each other, and we can do that. But there's also other shows that we have done in the past that we've got
Hmm.
into the religion part of it. We've got into the political part of it. We've got into the very divisive details of the things that you're not supposed to talk about. What is it? The big three: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. No, sex, religion, and politics.
Yep.
But I look at all of that with the
Hmm.
stuff that we've had on this show, and we've literally covered it all with a lot of not so much in your face and rah rah ree, but we've talked about sex, politics, and religion indirectly.
In a roundabout way, yeah. We've
Yeah.
actually, I mean, obviously, a lot of the times we just come around to like entertainment part of it, just
Yes.
joking about stuff and like off the cuff. Like sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's like, what is wrong with you people? But we still continue to be here and to have these conversations. And but yeah, at points we have talked about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm always like, okay, let's change the subject, because I love the fact that
Right.
we can get here, we can have people come here and just chill out and not worry about getting into those conversations, like just to relax. We talk about the nostalgia stuff. We talk about, like, we started talking about your gardening, urban
Yes.
gardening in suburbia. I mean, and then just a handful of different things, music, and it has brought a different a different vein to the show. With Guy filling in for me last week because I wasn't feeling well, and then before that, Brandon was off on his adventure, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful, and I know that Jay had mentioned I want to be a weirdo, and it's like, okay. I mean, it doesn't mean that we can't add him sometime to come in and hang out. At some point, I'd like to have all of us come and jump in, like when I get back into studio. I think that would be a lot of
Absolutely.
fun.
I think that would be
Um,
great.
it would be great. I enjoy all of those guys so much. They're a lot of fun, and they do bring something different to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you to the ones that have filled in for me throughout this whole thing. And again, I'll be here next week, but I won't be here the weeks after.
Well, and that goes along with the question: is what would you guys want to see for other shows under the Strange Friends Media moniker? I mean, one of the running jokes that we did for Mitch's Fake Radio is that there was these mock-up shows for all of the silliness that we did with Mitch. Which, if you guys have not had the chance to check that out, it was great. I think it was
Mitch's Fake
22
Radio.
episodes of just fake radio stuff, like theater
Loved
of the
it.
mind shit.
Yep, Theater of the Mind. Mitch is absolutely funny. I do miss that dude.
Right. Well,
I've
and
not
that's what
seen
I'm
him in my
asking is, like,
adventure.
what would you guys want to see for other shows, and if we can make
Mhm.
those shows a reality? I mean, not that we're going to do that on this show, but would you guys like to see a political discussion? Would you guys like to see a religious discussion? Would you guys like to see, just different subjects that we've talked about on here?
But
And
not here in
getting it. Would you guys
episode.
like to see a scientific discussion? I mean, there's so many different ways that we can add shows to this. And if you guys have an idea, toss that in chat. What would you guys want to see in show wise, in addition to everything that we're already doing?
Yeah, that's a good thing to throw out there. Oh, looks like we have some different things going on over here in chat.
What do we got?
So I think I left off with Mr. Guy saying, "Is Vixen a compliment?" Dave says, "Hey Guy, Vixen is my word for Heather. Hands off, a-hole." And Baghead says, "Where's the beef?" And he's putting the guns up. Baghead says, Brandon Burgers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Brandon says, "Vixen is a female fox, Guy." So I'd say it's a compliment. Baghead says, "Vixen was pre-metal, but great musicians." And
Yes.
Brandon says, "I adventured the crap out of it, too." Andy says, "Well, hello, weird friends." Hello, Andy. Brandon says, "Us playing board games." Okay.
I like
Andy
that
says,
idea.
"Cooking show with Tony and Heather and weirdos." I like that, too.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing is Heather and I have actually talked about that a couple of different times of, cooking with Heather and Tony. Because so let me rewind this back a couple of years.
Okay.
When Heather and I were hanging out here and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to cook something." So here I'm in the other room and I don't remember where I was doing. I don't know, I was probably playing on my phone or my tablet or something, doing something, watching a movie. And I hear stuff banging around in the kitchen. I'm like, "You good?" And then Heather literally was making a sailor blush at the vocabulary that was coming out of her mouth. And then started cussing the box out because apparently she threw the box away like 27 different times.
So, okay. He's not wrong, for one. But two, sometimes when you cook for one, you have to, or two, sometimes you have to improvise. Or, a lot of times I would take stuff that would be, like, for instance, I don't even know what the hell I was making. I know there was beans involved.
I don't
was
remember
upset because the can opener didn't work. But, but like, I would take things that you could transform into something, like, edible sometimes. Yeah. So anyway, I'd have the box. Throw the fucker away and be like, "Oh, damn it, I threw that box away again." And then I'm trying to get into this can of beans. And I was like, "I just want these beans. Who has these kinds of can openers? It's fucking horrible." And then things are falling and I open up a cupboard and, slamming shit around. And, you were absolutely laughing from the living room. Because I had all kinds of things to say.
So,
all kinds.
Yeah, I'm in the other room hearing this whole fiasco go on, pissing myself laughing. And I'm like, this needs to be a cooking show. Cooking with Heather.
Heather. Cooking with Heather. Yeah. That's going to be the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to cook again. I don't know how funny it would be, but I would definitely... I love cooking. I've been discovering like different things to make because one of my adventures, and I hate to say this, but with my doctor's appointment and blood work, my blood work came back. Everything was good.
Yes.
Except for my A1C. So I am like a border. I'm
That's
I'm
rough.
there to the point where I need to watch out what the hell I'm doing. So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been watching like carbs and stuff and trying to make different things. So one of the things that came up was and this is what I made for dinner tonight. You know how I make the chicken crust pizza?
Oh my God, it's so good too.
So I have one of those little mini dash waffle makers.
Yes.
This is little tiny guys, and I made that kind of a thing like I do for the chicken crust pizza. But I made it with Parmesan and bacon in it. Bacon, like real bacon pieces. And then I took a Caesar salad, put it in between those two waffles, and made myself... Oh, it was Caesar dressing. And made myself a chicken Caesar sandwich. Yeah. Chicken Caesar sandwich. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It was good.
That sounds amazing.
Protein.
Right.
No carb. Like, I mean, maybe very little. I don't know if there's anything really. Maybe in the dressing. But it was filling. I can only eat half of it. Oh, I put Munster cheese on it too. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh God, that sounds so good.
And I cut it, and it like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, oh, come to mama.
That
And I could
that's
only
that
eat half of it.
that's the grand reveal right there.
Yeah, yep. And I love that part of it. Like I love being able to try different things, you know.
Mhm.
We've run recipe ideas by each other, and yeah, I've started doing that with, a couple other friends, and we're, oh, ooh, add this. Oh, we can make this. Oh, let's add that to it. And it's been cool. It's been a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
love cooking, and I'm trying to put the healthier spins on everything and reducing my carb intake and my sugars. So, I mean, that might be something to actually share with you guys.
Well, and that's what I find is interesting is like we started that journey, God, years ago, and trying to find healthy alternatives for things that were simply not meant for human consumption.
Yeah.
And when you look at, what is determined as health, like you can eat
Mhm.
fat
Yeah.
uh, because your body needs to break some of that stuff down. The problem is that when you start just consuming empty calories and sugars,
Yeah.
your
It
body
becomes a
doesn't know how to
problem.
process that. It's literally toxic waste.
Yeah, your body doesn't know how to process it, and then what else happens?
Hmm.
It creates this whole thing like in your brain, and then you
Yes.
start craving that shit more.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking drug. It
It's
is.
worse than cocaine or crack or heroin or any of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff because, like, sugar is the most addictive substance on the planet, and they
Yep.
know it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's easy to be able to get stuck into that. So and I've had sugar. I've had something sweet after dinner almost my whole entire life.
Hmm.
Growing up, like it was, my mom would give me candy like every day. So yeah, it's easy for me. It's not easy for me to break that cycle.
Right.
I've struggled with it and yo-yoing weight up and down like my whole entire life. Even had the surgery, all that kind of stuff, and here we are again. And I've not known how to maintain a healthy weight throughout my whole entire life, and god damn it, I'm going to do it at some point to where I know how to actually maintain and keep it there,
Well,
without having that monkey of a sugar on my back.
and talk about that a little bit. Not to go into
Yeah,
Survivor Girl element, but I mean, talk
yeah,
about
we'll talk
the
about it.
mental and emotional journey that you had going into that. What you ended up going through while you were going through it, and now that you are on the other side of that, good, bad, or ugly. Like
Yeah,
talk about that because it's a lot of mental and emotional fortitude.
it is a lot of mental and emotional fortitude for sure. Like I getting ready for it. So at one point, to be honest with you, like I was at like 352 pounds or some shit. And being at 5'1", not good. Kept on like just basically saying, okay, heart, just get me through. So I made the decision to go and get the weight loss surgery, and it was successful. I didn't make it quite to my actual weight loss goal, but I looked amazing. Like
Yeah.
I looked amazing. I had to go through evaluation for my mental health to make sure that I could be able to do it and go through it. Yeah, a long time I was able to keep on losing and getting to that point. And then, some things happened in my life, and I started to go back to the old mentality of, drinking sugar for breakfast and, unfortunately, eating a bunch of sugar. Because even with having the weight loss surgery, that sugar and snack foods actually what they call slider foods, and I always was like, nah, I'm never gonna do that, I'm never gonna do that. And then mentally I just got broke down from the situation that I was going through, and I reached back up to my old friend sugar and started eating bad. And then when I moved up here, I continued on that trend, of being here by myself and coming home, and just that's what I would do. I'd grab something quick, and it'd always end up being something that was just not good for me. Or I wouldn't pack a lunch because my hours are crazy. So I would just say, oh, I'll just grab something. And I started drinking, Big B and full freaking sugar. Where before I wasn't. I would only drink sugar free, and then it's just one time I decided that I was going to start drinking regular sugar ones again, and that was all it took. That's all it took was just one, and I got back into the bad habit and did that cycle, and then I started reaching for candy. They'd have bowls of fucking candy at work, and things that I could have that were not gluten free, and it just started to just turn into the cycle where I just kept on grabbing and grabbing. And now here I am. I've not gained back my whole weight, thank God, but I have gained back a lot. And I don't feel like a failure by any means, but I do know where I went wrong, what I was doing and what I wasn't doing to keep myself healthy.
Right.
And now I'm facing that, if you don't change, you're going to end up having full diabetes, like type 2 diabetes. And once you get to that point, it's really like, can you reverse it? And I don't want to get to that point. I worked too hard in the beginning to get that weight loss surgery, and I worked hard to lose that 52 pounds before I went in under the knife because I had to. I busted my ass to get to that point, and it wasn't the easy way out. It really wasn't. But I took a big hit with my mental health. I ended up in a relationship that I didn't realize was as toxic as it ended up becoming. And I decided that my comfort was eating. And it's always been throughout my entire life. Food has always been a comfort thing. And it's always been a celebration with people.
Yeah.
And once I started going down that bad path again, that's when things started to and weight creeps back on, and before you know it, you look at a picture of yourself and you're like, fuck,
Yep.
what happened? I was looking so good. But I realize it. I understand like where I went wrong. I understand that I let somebody else control my emotional, and then I allowed it myself after I was like, oh no, I'm healing from it, I'm good. And then I started sabotaging myself. But it was easy. It was so fucking easy. It's not easy to take it off, but it's fucking easy to put it back on.
Well,
Oh
and
my
talk about
God.
some of the disciplines that worked for you when you were having success.
So like the disciplines, I would not drink any soda. Like I completely cut soda out all the way around. Is that what you mean? Like what were
Yeah,
some of the
yeah,
things
just
that I
some of the
did to
things
get
that
to where?
worked and that continually work that you're striving for, or at least going back and revisiting and rediscovering how well the disciplines worked.
So yeah, so basically it was cutting out soda. It was making sure that I was packing food that I knew would be good for myself. It was getting exercise in. It was actually taking the time to put discipline in for making that workout, doing that workout, because at that point too, um after surgery, like walking to for me was so important. Like I knew that I had to get up and I had to continue walking, and I felt good. That was the thing. Like I started dropping so much weight, like it was like nothing. I could keep up with you, I could keep up with everybody, and it was great. I could put cross my legs, I could tie my shoes. And then when the weight started to creep back on, I realized, oh fuck, I'm in danger.
Yep.
Like I'm in trouble right now. I'm in trouble. Who cares about like the image of myself health wise? I'm in fucking trouble.
Yep.
I'm in trouble. So going back and looking at the things that helped me to get to that point with, before surgery, all that stuff. It was like making sure that I cut out, and I was watching like if I had any kind of sugar through the bariatric classes and the nutritionist, it was like 9 grams. You had to make sure that you were not going over 9 grams. Making sure that you were getting 64 ounces of proteins. Making sure that you were getting like a 60 some ounce amount of water. And that's another thing that I have really let go. You need water. You need fucking water.
Yep.
So, and with the surgery, you either choose water or you choose food. And because you can't do both, you shouldn't do both at the same time
No.
because you fill up too quickly on the liquids. So I started going, no, I want food. I want food more. I want food more than I want drinks. And that's where, I knew that's where I was going wrong too. Like, I could sit here all day and tell you like all the things that led me back to where I'm at right now. Um and I know, like I said, I know that I was in trouble and I let my emotions and the blinders of me just focusing on work and nothing else. Like I was putting everything into my job. And it wasn't going good. It wasn't going good. The situation that I got put into was not a good situation. So, I'm not upset the company, the corporation. I'm not saying anything bad about them because I've had actually a really good experience with that company, but moving here and doing the things that I thought were going to be like the best part for me ended up being where I was like, oh fuck. Fuck. What did I do?
A lot of rinse and repeat of oh shit, we need to revisit this whole process of what it means to live healthy and life
Yeah.
is best lived.
Life is best because I wasn't.
Right.
I wasn't. I stopped creating.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped reaching out to people. Like this bad habit. It's like it's a circle. This bad fucking cycle. Actually, when I know that I'm going down in a bad dark place,
Yep.
I start pushing people away. I do. I start pushing people away, and it sucks because nobody that I love and care about deserves that.
No.
And it happens. It happens. It's a
Mm-hmm.
mental health thing. you know. So, but yeah, there's a lot of things going on over here in chat. Sorry
Well,
guys,
let's
I
catch
got
up in
really
chat real
real
quick.
there. Where did I leave? Do. Brandon said us playing board games. I think I said that.
Yep.
Cooking shows. Yep. Cooking is an art because you don't want your meal to taste like nickels. True, Baghead, true. Andy says, no politics, no religion discussions. We're all friends here regardless. Yep.
Right.
Andy says, yes, Baghead, Vixen is great. Baghead says, howdy, Andy. Hey, Brandon, board games rock, and we're all a lot older than we are, Andy says. Dawn says, yes, please share for the recipes or cooking. Annie says, howdy, Baghead. And Annie says, shout out to Heather. It's so hard growing up in the desert land. Yes. Dawn says, you got this, sister. And Andy says, soda is the devil. Heather is always a beautiful human. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. Brandon says, Heather Leah wants to let you know, playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Aw,
That's a fun game.
Love that. Yeah, so it's something that's been really interesting throughout doing the podcast, and when I started doing Survivor Girl and things is giving myself that moment to just be real with all of you that are not even in front of me right now, but I know you're there, and not allowing myself to shy away when it comes to being real and being raw about things, and I like to be able to have that chance to be able to share this kind of stuff with people because you know you might be facing something too that might be similar to it, and this has always been throughout my life just a yo-yo thing. It's easy for me to gain 10, 11, 12 pounds. Like sadly, this is what sucks. I have gained 10 to 13 pounds within one fucking week.
Damn.
1 week. 1 week. It happens. It fucking happens. And I go, what in the fuck am I going wrong? Where am I going wrong? Because that's not a normal thing for somebody. It's not a normal thing.
Nope.
So, and that's being real. It's being real. It's happened to me.
Well, and I mean, there's a lot of that conditioning too, because I mean, breakfast is not a thing that the only people that are being healthy off of that is the breakfast companies. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're actually coming out with a movie uh, that's talking about just that, and Seinfeld's in it, which is so freaking weird. And it talks about the Pop Tart, which,
Yeah.
I mean, it's sugar and chemicals and preservatives that's
Yeah.
not meant for human consumption.
Yeah. But what happens, like they put this out and
Yeah.
it's on commercials and they get this shiny silver packaging and
Yep.
it's got this really, like, okay, for instance, the
Marketing is a thing,
freaking,
man.
yeah, yeah. So the wild berry one that's purple and it's
Yes.
got blue icing on it, and who doesn't want to eat that?
Right.
Okay, for one, for me, anytime before I found out that I had a gluten allergy, I put those in a toaster and heat them up, and guess what happened? My stomach fucking hurt.
Oh, yeah.
My stomach hurt from it. And it doesn't seem like that should be a thing, but it was.
Well,
And they come up with a gazillion different kinds of flavors.
right.
That is, it's just.
Well, yeah, we talked about it on the show here of Pop Tart roulette, and that was a game of one of our guests that he plays with
Mhm.
his wife, which is so
Yeah.
funny because when you're conditioned that, hey, 3 meals a day, the food pyramid, this, that, and the other thing, it's all been a bill of goods,
Mhm.
that it's not one size fits all.
Mhm. No.
It's what works for you and your body type.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And,
And it's science.
yeah.
It's
Well,
chemistry.
it's science.
I mean, no, but like if you stop and you think about it, like our bodies are what we're made of, and
Yep.
like there's a formula for each individual, and
Mm-hmm.
those fad diets and things that they continue to push out there, that's where people who are desperate
Yep.
and want to lose the weight and will listen to it and will buy it. I'm like, I fucking buy into everything. I would. I have.
Right.
I
Well,
have.
and I mean, the
What will
biggest,
fix me? Fucking what will fix this?
right,
But it's never been what
right,
will fix this to fix this.
right. What will fix this and what will
Never
fix
been.
this? Well,
Never.
and it's crazy too, because the preconceived notions that, you know, you're just eating because you're hungry all the time. No, you're not really hungry. You're bored. Close the fridge and walk away and go find a hobby. I mean, we're only supposed to eat when we're hungry for
Mhm.
nutrition to keep the furnace going. And I mean,
Yeah.
I stepped up to the plate years ago and went, you know what, I'm going to do this fasting thing
The
and see
intermittent
how that
fasting.
actually works out. And it's honestly worked out really fucking well.
Yeah.
Because, your body is supposed to fast. Your body is
Mhm.
supposed to only eat when it's hungry. And, there's times when I miss my time that I cut off, or I miss my time from eating my first meal of the day.
Mhm.
But in the same token, if you're putting in the nutrients that you're supposed to be putting in your body that you're supposed to consume. Now, granted, I'm not Amish.
Mhm.
I'm not going to burn 3,000 calories a day due to
Right.
manual
Right.
labor.
Yep.
But there are things that I'm doing. So caloric deficit, as they say, anywhere from 1,500 to 1,700 calories, because it needs to be brain food, because I'm here working in the studio, or I'm recording, or I'm doing whatever, and hopefully not sitting on my ass 24/7. So I try to get up and move around every half hour, every hour, so on and so forth, to move and to do those things. Now, obviously, when we're streaming, there's a bit of a buffer there, if you will, that we can't just get up and move around because the camera can't follow us.
Right.
But
Yep.
still, in the same token, if you're going to be sitting still, then hey, earn your way to sitting down. Like,
Mhm.
make your body do the thing that it needs to do. I love how
Yeah.
people talk about, oh, I got a cheat day coming up. Well, that's great. What did you do to earn the cheat day? Did you push extra hours in there because your body's going to have trouble breaking that down?
Mhm.
Or hey, just eat what you're going to eat because that's what your body needs,
Yeah.
and stop cheating yourself because you're only cheating yourself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we don't. I don't recall ever like really being taught the proper like nutrition. They talked about the food pyramid. They talked about like your body mass index and what you should be for the height that you are, but you look back at those actual ones and it's like, I don't think that's meant for really anybody because at my
No.
height, at 5'1", I'm supposed to be like 135 pounds or 113. No, I think I'm supposed to be like 113 pounds. So with my bone structure,
Yeah.
the height, when I was at like 193 after my surgery, I looked like I was maybe like a buck, maybe a buck 50,
Yeah.
something like that. Like I was looking really good, but I was still like 193.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, nah, I don't think none of that makes any kind of sense. And
You
it
know,
felt great. I felt amazing at that weight.
and that's the thing is when I think of bone structure and when I think of, a lot of those people that talk about the way things are internally, I look at Wally because how they started out on whatever the ship was, and they were
Mm-hmm.
all walking and doing whatever, and the next thing you know, a few centuries go by, and here's everybody that's morbidly obese, and they're literally
Mm-hmm.
riding on these hover chairs,
Yep.
and you go,
Yeah.
everything is convenient, so therefore you don't have to exercise. I mean, they were literally
Right.
showing, oh, they were watching, what was it, robots play tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's the exercise? Where's the where's the nutrition there of doing those things? Because your bones are the same size. You just have a bunch of extra skin and fat around
Yeah.
them, which makes them, you're grinding and you don't even know it. Like, because you
Right.
have
Oh,
that
yeah.
much extra weight.
Yeah. But when you lose it,
Right.
you feel it. Like
Oh, yeah.
you definitely feel it. Like I felt so different. I mean, obviously, like going from 352 down to like 193, 186, like it was a huge difference. And
Yeah.
I felt better. I looked better. Like I was happy. But I could see collarbones and stuff like that. Like,
You could
like
run.
I could run. I wasn't good at it, but I could.
Well, I
I'll
remember
get
how
back.
happy you were when you did that, though.
Yeah, I will get back to that. I'll get back there again. But I need to be able to understand where I'm going. Like when things get tough, that's not my friend. Sugar and these bad things that I've continued to put into my body after the fact is it's not my friend.
Right.
It's not. So, and I've been conditioned throughout my life like a lot of people have,
Absolutely.
to chase that dopamine through these foods that are
Mm-hmm.
colorful that aren't healthy. Donuts and cake and sugar and these drinks that chocolate milk that you wash. Like this is one thing. I used to eat donuts before I had my gluten allergy. I would eat donuts like two and then wash it down with chocolate milk. Like who is that good for ever? Nobody.
Nope.
Nobody. Nobody. But I didn't have that like, oh god, this is too sugary. Like what? I never
Yeah.
had that. And then it would be that mindless reach for her because I didn't eat
Yeah.
anything else throughout the day. So
Well, and I mean,
why out?
that's you're exactly on point. Like, if you're eating negative calories or you're eating stuff that's just going to give you empty nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
well, your body's still hungry.
Yeah, your
It
body is
needs
hungry.
something that actually has nutritional value. And
Mm-hmm.
eating two donuts and washing it down with a chocolate milk,
There's
that
no
works for a
value.
minute.
Yeah, for a minute until it burns up again, and it burns up because you're not. It's not from movement.
Right.
It's not in the right way that it burns up. So you're still hungry.
Right. It's like pouring
Hungry.
gasoline on a fire that's already lit. Yeah, it'll be hot, it'll be fast, but once that dissipates,
There's nothing there for it. Nothing
right.
there. That's good. So, looks like we have some more things over here. Time Capsule is joining in, says, hey. Brandon says, hey, hiya, Time. Don says, snacks. That's where I go wrong. Baghead says, Brandon, where's Baghead's space helmet? Andy says, oh, Don, me too. And then Baghead says, bag of potato chips is cheaper than a bag of oranges. Brandon says, I'm going to have to leave because of all the F-bombs. I'm right next to the girls. I'll watch the rest on the replay. See y'all later. See you, Brandon. Andy says Baghead's space helmet was shipped to Mr. Solari on Pluto. Totally on accident, according to the Universal Parcel Service. Baghead's growing some part eyes. And Andy says we were all chocolate milk addicts. Damn, stupid rabbit. Yeah.
Ain't
Well,
that the truth? That's
here's the funny
marketing,
thing.
man. That's
Oh
such
yeah,
marketing.
marketing. But you think about it. So like in kindergarten, when we were
Hmm.
younger, what was it? We got graham crackers and
Yep.
a carton of milk.
Yep.
That's what our snacks were at school. Graham crackers and a carton of milk.
That was according
And
to the nutritional food pyramid.
yeah. And I got in trouble because I would come home and my mom would know when I had chocolate milk because I'd be hyper as shit.
Right.
So then they ended up sending a letter to the school that said, "Do not give Heather chocolate milk." I'd come home after I would trade with a friend so I could have chocolate milk. 'Cause, addict, whatever. A little sugar addict. And I'd come home and my mom would be like, "Did you have chocolate milk?" "No." You're hyper. I think you have. Yeah.
That's Heather's bouncing off the walls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As a little Heather was always like, "Wait." Yeah, absolutely. Any kind of sugar, I was like, "Let's go!"
Right.
And, so that's the sad part of it because it's not only is it making everybody gain so much weight, like chasing this dopamine thing, and sugar, but it's killing all kinds of other parts of
Yeah.
all kinds of things, and I just. That and I know it. That's the sad part is that I know all of the bad things of it. It's just like someone who smokes. It's someone who drinks. It's someone who has any other kind of vice, you name it. We all
You
know
are
it's
preaching to the
bad
choir
for us.
right now.
We all know it's fucking bad for us, but what happens?
Yep.
It's right there, stuck on our heads, 24/7. When's the next fix?
Well, and what's amazing about that is like today I was making lunch for myself because I got home late from teaching and study and whatnot. And it was funny because I literally threw 4 eggs in the pan, little tiny bit of milk, threw a bunch of fresh herbs and spices with some minced garlic, and then I chopped up a serrano pepper, a jalapeno, and then I chopped up a poblano and an onion and threw that in and mixed it all up. And it was funny because I'm sitting there eating it. And Melissa's like, "You eat so damn healthy compared to any other person that I know." And I'm like, well, I got to keep the fuel lit. Because,
Right.
Even when we first started hanging out, like I ate healthier than most people, but I was still like, hey, if there's a jelly donut over there, I'm going to smash the shit out of that.
Yeah, but it's like an impulse all of a sudden, like
Yes.
you see it out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, and this is where I go wrong. There's stuff I can't have because of the gluten,
Yes.
but I see something that I can have that's like sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even fucking think about it. I grab it,
Right.
and it's in my fucking face.
Right.
Sorry, Brandon, if you're still looking. I don't realize I throw the F-bomb as much as I do. Anyway, but it's still in my face, like,
Yes.
and I'm shoving it in my face. And there's been times because of having a sugar addiction, I've thrown shit into the garbage, and I hate to fucking admit this, but it's true. I've thrown stuff in the garbage and then went, "Oh God, I want that." Like I can't not stop thinking about that piece of cake.
Right.
And it's sad.
Yep.
That's so disturbing to me, and the fact that I admitted that here. It's sad.
I was the same way when I smoked for all those years. Like I literally would be fiending for a cigarette, and I'm just like, "Oh, hey, there's like a halfie in the ashtray. I'll just grab that out and smoke it." And it's like, what the hell is going wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
Like it's the worst. And I mean, it's been hell, come November, it'll be 4 years that I've been smoke free of everything.
Oh,
And it's
awesome.
amazing though because it wasn't easy until it was easy.
Yeah. Yes. And that's one thing. I quit smoking back in 2006.
Yeah.
And I was around like when the guys all come to Michigan.
Yeah.
I was chain smoking in the garage. Everybody else.
Yeah.
And I never once was like wanting one.
Same.
Never once did I care
Same.
about a cigarette. But my brain, if someone brought some kind of chocolate or sugar out, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's on like
That's
Donkey
it.
Kong.
That's it here. Give me that. You know, I mean, we went to St. Patrick's party.
Yep.
All of the sugar. All the sugar. All the things. And it was just like, how much of this can I actually fit into this my pie hole?
Right.
And how much can I take with me? Like, that's so sad.
Yep.
It's bad, but I have that impulse, unfortunately. So.
Well, speaking of that and impulse, it is the top of the hour, so we've got to get into the shows that we do and giving a thanks to those people and to our patrons. Absolutely. So let me flip over to the Wall of Fame and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And the beautiful.
And the beautiful.
We love all of these shows that we support and that have come under the Strange Friends umbrella. We thank you guys so much for supporting them as well. So we have Baghead, Tempest Striker Gaming, Magic Gaming Jerks, Suck My Deck, This Is My Brain Podcast, Initiative Impossible, Was It Worth It, Chill Stream, and Guitar Fridays. Those are all the ones that are under our umbrella.
Yep. And well, you're currently watching Don't Make This Weird. And the ones that we are affiliated with and we hang out with and do all kinds of other stuff with is MTG Attitude, MTG Dreamer, Chaos Gaming, Rule of Cool, Twiddler's Place, and Action Surge. And we also hang out with This Is My Brain because those guys over there are absolutely awesome. Conspiracy Music, thank you for hanging with us over on Rumble. We appreciate that so much. And we're going to move over to our patron page. Shout out to all you guys over there. The Weirdos, Editor J, Mr. Guy, the Deckheads, Big Box Dave, I Got a Load of Page, and Relentless Magic. And as it is being a middle-aged, bald, fat guy, we have no groupies and we have no strange friends. So, but all you guys are our strange friends right here on what it is that we're doing. So shout out to all of you over there in Rumble. Appreciate you so much. And over there on Facebook land and YouTube and Twitch. Thank you guys for chiming in, and we will do our best to stay up on the chat. In fact, over there in Twitch land, Baghead is louder, best buddy. That's awesome.
That was awesome.
What else do we got here? Hold on, I think I missed one.
Oh, did you miss one?
Was there another one? Oh, yeah. El Jefe over in Facebook land says non-sugar soda is bad or worse, brain fog.
Mm-hmm. Andy Burke says, rabbit, camel, captain, etc., etc. I think we were all duped. Yeah. Cartoon characters to sell some of the worst things that we could put in our bodies.
Absolutely.
Yep. Andy says, got up at 5 a.m. It's finished till 11 a.m. and got home and had some chicken salad and crackers.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to work this morning and I got up and did not pack a lunch. I actually did not eat breakfast. I did not eat lunch. I did have like 2 cheese sticks at work. That's what I had. Not the fried ones, just regular ones. And I did not have anything until I got home and had the chicken Caesar thing I created. And now I'm hungry again. So yay! And it's this time of night. That's what happens.
Well, and it's funny you say that too, because like if I'm inching towards that 6 o'clock marker where I have my cutoff, I'll grab a couple of radishes or something, and you guys are always freaking out like, oh my God, how are you eating radishes?
Yeah.
Because they're nutrient dense because they're a root vegetable.
Yeah.
And, they're also going to, give you that water intake if you're low on your water intake. Because like I drink this every day of the week, which is my tea. Mm-hmm. But in the same token, it's still water. You're still getting the fluid so your joints can be soft and squishy. And plus I take a landslide of supplements. So if I don't get the nutrients because it is an off day and I've failed to plan properly,
Mm-hmm.
I still got, most of the things that I need to take so my body can do the things that it needs to do.
No, I totally get that. I was actually surprised at how good my vitamins and everything were, because throughout the process of just kind of screwing myself over, I was not doing well at taking my vitamins either.
Oof.
And yeah, and that's something that somebody who's had bariatric surgery has to do because you don't technically get the nutrients from everything
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
So as the fact that everything was high at like good levels on me except for vitamin D, which she said everybody in Michigan should be taking it anyway.
Yep.
I was surprised. I was like, oh damn. She's like, yeah, everything else is really good except for your A1C and you need vitamin D.
Nice.
So, I mean, there's always work in progress. And, I've been slapped in the face several times with a wake up call. And, I have, I have keep on doing this yo yo back and forth crap. And I'm getting too old to be playing these games, these roulettes.
Right.
So the whole I'm in danger, like I need to get it together. I need to get it together. So
Well,
but
and
I
when you
have,
look at
as
that,
always.
it's a constant reminder. You need to take your health seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And we generally don't until we have one of those, detours that puts us on our ass, or we're in the hospital for a couple of weeks, or, we're missing work because we're always sick. Like, we don't listen to the markers that your body goes, hey, something's not right. I'm going to spit and sputter and, make some noise.
Mm-hmm.
And, that should be your warning instead of, oh no, now I've had a stroke or I've had a heart attack, or
Yeah.
God forbid it's something to do with the big C, because fuck cancer.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's another thing too, like after hearing that back it'll be a decade, August 19th.
Wow, has it been that
After
long?
hearing that 10 years ago, I said to you too, I was like, I never want to hear those words again.
Yep.
I never want to hear those words again. So like for me to continue to come back to this and start struggling again with like weight and eating improper, and people will just say like, why don't you just eat this? Why don't you eat a salad? Why don't you do this? Why don't you stop being fat? Stop breathing. But people
That's
are
a bit
mean.
harsh.
People are freaking mean.
Oh, they are.
When people that are overweight, like they're ruthless. You
Yep.
know how many times of people that I actually really love, admire, care about have come out and said some really bad fat shaming jokes and just come out and say like you're a fatty, not to me, but in front of me, and I'm like, dude, do you realize like I'm not a small girl, like, and you're sitting here like talking about women being fat and this and that, and it's like, do you not realize who I am? Like, come on. It's interesting, and I go, wait a minute, but I have things I need to do. Like, I need to figure this out. But to hear people that I care about and like admire say things like that, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
well, and that's what's interesting is like, it's so funny because when I was having a conversation with Melissa, and we were talking about, the different food we eat and whatnot. And I kind of felt like an idiot, but, it was hilarious because she's like, well, baby, you're right. And I'm like, according to the gospel of Zombieland, we all got to do cardio because it's always the fatties that are first. And her brother was standing there and he's kind of a bigger dude. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And she's like, well, it's true, though, because how many people, if saying that was the case, that Zombieland was a thing, the unfortunate process of how many innocent people would die because they simply could not escape.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely true.
And I mean, it's all fantasy, but still, it's one of those things that, you know, if that's not a reality for you, is okay, can you run away from zombies?
No.
I know I can't. Somebody's
No.
probably going to trip me, so the zombie will eat me while they run away.
Absolutely. And then, yeah. No. Let's see. I am back, guys. How is everybody? Oh, wait. Hold on. One second. Andy says radishes, horseradish. These are a few of my favorite things.
Yes.
Dave is back. I'm back, guys. How's everyone doing? And Dawn says food allergies suck, though. There are so many things that are good for you that I can't have. True. This is true. Dave says, hey, Dawn. And he says, I fat shame Editor J, even though he isn't fat. He really isn't.
He isn't.
But one time he was joking with it. I was like, when they got here to Michigan, I'm like, I'm not fat.
So all of them guys are sexy fucking beasts. I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I'm not even gonna get into this. Like, I hang out with some of the most
all right,
gorgeous looking dudes.
This is how this works. Like Editor J, obviously, yes, he's a sexy beast. Mr. Guy, like, dude, the military has done you right. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
And then you got Dave. Like, Dave, come on, man.
Dave is a handsome beast.
He is. He's a strapping young lad that I would do very inappropriate things to if I wasn't so secure in my heterosexuality.
Wow. Yeah, they make some really nice looking guys out over there in Mass.
I don't know what it is about the mass holes, but man, most of the guys over there are fucking hot.
Dave says, I would use myself as bait as soon as those zombies were near me. Boom goes the dynamite. Dawn says, nope, I can't run, so I'm done. And then she says, hi, Dave. Yeah, so, but no, I get that, and I've had people ask me, like, how do you hang out with all these guys that are, like, you know, they're good-looking dudes? I'm like, I don't know. They just accept me, and I'm just there. Like, they let me hang out.
No, you're definitely you're part of the crew, part of the ship. I mean, and it's hilarious because you have some of the best dick and fart jokes, not gonna lie.
I do enjoy, sharing those, for sure. Yeah, yes. So, you know, and that was kind of the funny thing. So last night we were hanging out on Jerks and Magic Gaming Jerks. And of course, when you go there, you have got to talk shit. So we're all hanging out last night, and I don't know what happens. I get dumb. Like, you guys tell me guys are dumb, and guys just say dumb shit all the time, and then here I am like, yep. What did I say? A lady. What did I say?
Get your butthole checker, lady.
Lady butthole checker. Like, I said something about why do guys get their buttholes checked by guys that have big hands? They should be going to see a lady butthole checker. Like, why do I say these things? I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me now.
I mean, not gonna lie. If I'm gonna, you know, have 2 fingers shoved in there, I'd prefer it to be a girl as opposed to a guy, because that's just fucking awkward.
Smaller hands. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Smaller hands. Dave says we know we are hot. Nah, not. And he says now our wives are smoke shows. All right.
Not gonna lie, my girl's pretty fucking hot. I think she lost a bet. That's why she's with me.
Oh my god! You say that all the time.
Okay. So
beautiful.
I have a rebuttal to what you said, Dave, about your wives being smoke shows. So I hung out with Nicole. Me and Melissa got the chance to chat with Nicole.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, so look at this. And like, you've seen Nicole, just absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Like, talk about a smoke show. Holy shit. And she's like, look, it's the laws of attraction, because attractive people attract other attractive people. So we can't say that we look like a horse's ass that's forced to shave and walk backwards if we all are hanging around other attractive people. So therefore, there has to be some credence to that laws of attraction, that hot people attract other hot people.
Really?
According to Nicole, and she's wicked smart.
She is wicked smart. She is. For sure. She definitely is. Huh. I don't know. I've never heard that whole theory before.
That's what she said, and she's way smarter than me, so I'm going to go with what she said.
Maybe. Andy is joining in saying, hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. We love our Dave.
We love our Dave. We love all you guys.
Excited.
Like Andy Berg, Time, Brandon, Baghead, all you guys. Dawn, we love you to pieces.
Yes, we do.
What did Dave say?
I know why Melissa's with you, Tony. Hey, Tony, what the hell happened to your knees? Oh my god. And Dave says, hey, Andy. Oh my gosh.
It's
Dang.
swollen from being pointed at.
Oh my gosh. So, like last night, Dave jumped in on MTG, no, Gaming Jerks.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
It was on MTG
And
Attitude.
and then he asked me if I was ready to go to the island with a bunch of sweaty, stinky dudes, and I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Duh.
Why not? I'm ready. I'm ready to go hang out.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go hang out.
That's where the lady butthole checker.
I am not being a lady butthole checker. Do not show me your brown eye because I am not checking your buttholes out.
Look,
Sorry.
hold up your hand and you can tell whether or not. See, look, tiny hands, guys, you're safe.
I'm not checking anybody's beehole. No, thank you. I'm not about the butt stuff. So you can.
I mean,
check each
according
other's
to
butts.
Rudy, if they're dehydrated on the island, the fastest way to get them rehydrated is an enema.
Oh my god, not happening. Speaking of, okay, so Dave says, hey Andy. And Time Capsule says, oh, that's sweet. I love me too. And then BBD ED always sets the bar so damn high. No buttholes. I am the shit show supervisor. Heather will be protected by me. Ha! Yeah, no buttholes.
Well, you do remember the first thing you have to ask when you get to Wiener Island.
What is it?
Ask me about my wiener.
I'm not. Nobody's asking. No. I'm gonna go fishing. We are gonna stop at this really cool like fishing place. I think like a store or something. I've heard about.
Mm-hmm.
And I am ready. Like I have not fished in over a year.
Well, apparently you're going to show them boys how to fish.
Bring it. I hope I can bring it.
Oh, you will.
I have knowledge up here of like, I'm like, oh, are they spawning right now? What's going on? I was asking Dave that the one day. I was like, are they spawning? What's going on? What's happening? He says, hey, does this make you uncomfortable? A little bit.
Yeah, because I'm not having a good dick day.
Oh, yeah. So if anybody tells me they're having a good dick day, I have a response. I'm not saying it yet.
Yep.
Till I get out to the island. So, but no, I'm very honored to be able to go out there. And, people be like, why do you want to go out to the island with a bunch of dudes and hang out and go fishing? Because in my heart, I am just one of the dudes.
The dude abides.
Yeah, the dude abides. I am just like one in, I say all of the dick and fart jokes. Yes, I can be a lady and I can dress up and all this other stuff, but also at the end of the day, like that's my people.
Yep.
That is my people.
That's the people.
That's it. Like that's where I want to be. Andy says I can sleep at night knowing that Dave is her protector. Oh, will act as her protector. Dave says this is what we'll do, Heather. Pull out a small piece of shrimp on a hook, cast it out, wait 5 seconds, pull a rockfish, break the ice, and everything is good after that. Okay. All right. I have ideas. So on my way back here, I stopped at Northwoods and decided that I was going to go see if they had some of my like favorite lures that they have there. No, they did not. All the ones I was asking for were sold out. So what does that tell you? I know what I'm doing.
That's because somebody, one, found your tips and tricks, and two, you're going to have to go through and get more of that stuff so you can show the guys how to fish.
I'm hoping that they have them at the store. Or I might just be like sending a weird like box to Dave's before I get there of stuff that I...
Oh, I'm sure you will. Like how long before you actually head to Wiener Island?
Is it 16 days?
16 days? I don't know. Math and stuff. We suck at math.
16 or 17. Yeah, I'm not really good at it. All I know is that I have my plane ticket. I'm all set and good to go. Looking forward to it. Get to see some of my besties. Some of my besties there. Heard that Dave is a great shrimp. What?
Shrimp handling.
Oh, shrimping. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm very excited. It's going to be fun.
That's fair.
Wish you were going to be there.
Hopefully next year. I mean, that's the thing is it, unfortunately, the way these past couple of years have worked out, I've not been able to attend. But it will happen one of these years. Dave keeps saying, bro, whatever you got to do to get out here. And that's the thing is I hate flying. I truly fucking hate flying. But
Punch you in the face.
well, here's the best part about that, though. This country is absolutely so beautiful to take tons of alternate routes to just drive and see God's beautiful country. Like Appalachia,
Agreed.
it's some of the most beautiful countryside that you can drive through with the mountains and the hills and all that stuff. Like, if you're not enjoying that on the road, you're missing it, man.
Yeah. I mean, and I bet that it is absolutely beautiful. Like, when I was doing the Bassmaster circuit for the kayaking, I seen some really beautiful, like,
Yeah.
really beautiful places. I did go to Alabama. I got to see, oh my God, Tennessee.
Yep.
And it was interesting to be able to go and do that. And then, after that, started doing some of the circuits that were actually in Michigan area.
Yep.
So it was a lot different from learning how to fish in Tennessee and Alabama compared to, getting the bites here in Michigan that I've fished for several years.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, yeah, okay, so you might have to teach me how to fish in Mass because I don't know. Are they going to want the watermelon pumpkin seed? Are they going to want top water? Are they going to want, Midnight Dawn? I don't know what they're going to want, but I know.
Well, technically, it won't be in Mass. It'll be in Maine.
Oh, yeah, it is Maine. So
yeah.
That's true. That was the interesting part, too, is when I went to Alabama, I was fishing Alabama, Tennessee, and, oh my God, it was like right on the line. So I actually fished in 3 different places all in one day.
Nice.
3 different states. It was really cool, actually. So, I'm with Tony. Fuck flying.
Yeah. And I know I've read all the statistics. I mean, here's the thing. I have flown in the past, but when you're flying and your plane's hit by lightning, I don't care how much of a Barney badass you are. That literally scares the shit out of you. And I was drunk. After that, I was sober.
Turbulence is pretty scary, to be honest. The first time I ever flew, I was heading down to Orlando, actually, to go see my dad, because he had went out there and stayed out there. So I got on the plane. I think I was like, I want to say I was like 14, 15, 16. I don't know. It was a long time ago, so it's really hard to remember exactly what age. First time ever experiencing flying. My mom dropped me off. I had to have been young because I'll tell you when I get back to this part, but I had been younger though, and she had dropped me off in Saginaw.
Yep.
And I ended up getting on the plane. I got on the plane, so Saginaw would take me to Detroit, and then from there I would get on another plane, or I would get on the plane there in Detroit to go to Florida. So I ended up getting there to Detroit, and we had so much turbulence and storms going down in Florida that they ended up canceling my flight. So I ended up having to get back on the plane with the turbulence and everything that was just happening in Michigan and head back to Saginaw to get dropped off. Well, when I got dropped off there, they put me in a room with the rest of like these minors, and my mom had to come pick me up. Because I must have been I had to have been 14, 15, but they put me in with these other kids, and I had to wait until she came and picked me up. So that was my first experience of flying, and, at that time I wasn't really, really big in religion, and I had a cross necklace on, and I was just like, please don't let me die, I'll pray more, I promise I'll be good, I'll baptize again or something, I don't know, but please. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad hitting that turbulence and not knowing. I was like, I'm dying today. That's it. That's all.
Well, and that's, I used to tour all over the United States and play different venues and so on and so forth. And it was one of those things, it was great. The thing that really sucked was jet lag. But when I started driving across country and going from state to state, man, sometimes the road was just so long and am I ever gonna get there? But then when you see just this absolutely stunning landscape that you have never seen before, and you're like, you know what? I think I'm gonna buy a house down here and actually set up shop because you can't beat the view.
Right. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it because I've never been that way. I've never been there before.
Right.
So I'm absolutely looking forward to I've seen, the videos and stuff of the island. So I'm absolutely like excited about that part of it. And it's a new experience. It's a new place. I've never been there before. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I did get a plane ticket to be able to fly out there instead of driving because driving actually makes me more nervous than getting in a plane. I'll be honest
I
with you.
love driving. I truly do.
So like if you would have been going and I knew you would have been actually going, I would have went and I would have rode with you, but then I didn't want to have to be like, oh shit, I gotta drive now by myself. So I knew that was not gonna be a thing. So let's see, we got some stuff going over in chat before we end up closing up shop tonight. So Tony, you coming to the island?
Who asked that?
Dave.
Oh, Dave. Unfortunately, not
Dave
this
is
year, my
waiting.
friend. We'll talk about it after the show.
And he says I spent way too much time in bush planes and float planes. Dave said I spent way too much time in Tony's vagina.
Shut up, Dave.
I can always tell when Heather sees one of my comments. You always give a slight shit-eating grin when you see it, LOL. And then he says, make me happy that I spent all that time in sketchy planes.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And see, here's the thing: is like when I lived out in Las Vegas, we did the chopper tour over the Hoover Dam and the Grand Canyon.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, we so the pilot was great because he was this old, just like cigar smoking bastard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hilarious because we went over the deepest, widest part of the Grand Canyon. It's like 5 miles across and a mile deep.
Oh, God.
Like, fuck that.
Mm-mm.
All day long. And when that updraft hits the chopper and, he dips and then he goes back up. Like, I don't know if it was the stick or whatever, because I don't understand how that shit works. Aerodynamics. Yeah, I got nothing on that. I'm bald for that reason because I don't understand it. But we were out there and it was the best, worst $85 I've ever spent. Because I was like, put the thing back on the fucking ground, man. Put it back on the goddamn ground.
Nope. I am good enough to know in my life that there are things that you get on that you cannot get off of if you start to have a panic attack. And that would be one thing I would not be able to do. Like, for instance, I will not go skydiving because no thank you. Once it goes, I can't reverse that. I'm going. I will not bungee jump because once it goes, I can't reverse that. I'm going. No thank you.
Look,
I'm a chicken shit and no thank you.
You only need a parachute the second time you go skydiving. The first time it doesn't really count.
No, it does not count. Andy says, I hate helicopters.
Yep.
And Dave says, I have parachuted out of 2 helicopters. Hell of fun.
Nope.
No, I worry now too because I have just the one like adrenal gland, and I'm like, how much adrenaline can this little guy take before I'm not here no more?
I'm just
like,
gonna say, you remember B.A. Baracus on the A team? Mm-hmm. Knock my ass the fuck out because the minute I'm even at an airport, it's full on anxiety attack, and I wish I could control that shit, but nope.
Yeah. And Andy says, that's why you are the man, Dave.
Right. Oh, yeah. Dave's got balls big enough to come in a dump truck.
Dave was the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
No shit.
Damn right.
Wow.
Damn right. Yeah. I ain't getting on no plane. What?
Hannibal. Damn right. I ain't getting on a fucking plane.
Damn right. Yeah.
No, like that's the thing. And I know there's ways to conquer your fear through exposure and this, that, and the other thing. But like once you have had that experience, it's a motherfucker to overcome because you are absolutely petrified and going, nope, I'm just okay. If this is where God's taking me, here I come because we're done.
They'd be like, jump or die. Goodbye.
Yep.
Unless you're holding me and knocking me out on the way down, cool. Cool.
Right. And you know what? Hey, if that's your plan to kidnap me and take me to some pleasure island, cool, do your thing. But I ain't doing it willingly.
Knocking you out, bitch. And on that note, guys, it is 9:30.
Is
We
it?
do
Holy
appreciate
cow.
you for tuning in. I know a lot of that we got through tonight was a bunch of like heartfelt survivor kind of feel. But we do thank you guys hanging out and for hanging out, coming over here. Please do not forget to hit that like button.
Yes.
Wait a minute, Dave. Somebody bump that up so I can read it better.
What did he say?
The only thing better than free falling, having sex while free falling. Amazing feeling. What? Daddy, I'm gonna hear some stories on the island.
You do what you gotta do, bro.
I'm gonna hear some stories on the island. I'm going fishing. All right, Andy. You have a good night, buddy. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you could put up those pages of all the ones that we are affiliated with.
Yes,
and the ones
absolutely. We'll do that.
And smash on the like buttons, subscribe buttons, all of that stuff, guys. Also, a huge shout out to our patrons. We have, well, we'll go ahead and do this first and then we'll get to that. Baghead, Tempest Striker Gaming, Suck My Deck, Gaming Jerks. This is my brain. Oh, whoops. This is my brain. Was it worth it? Initiative Impossible. And of course, you are watching the Don't Make This Weird podcast right now. Chill Stream and Guitar Fridays. And the ones that we want you to go check out because we love them too.
MTG Attitude, Chaos Gaming, MTG Dreamer, Rule of Cool, Twiddler's Place, Action Surge. Also, DJ Longhair. And all of these are down in the featured tabs channel. Feel free to go down there and show some love. And hey, shout out to all of the guys that are down there in the featured tabs channel. We love you.
Pause is joining in. Give him a shout out. Go love Pause. Pause
yes.
Brown.
Love to Pause.
And thank you for our Patreon patrons. Weirdos, Editor Jane, Mr. Guy, Deckheads, Big Box Dave, I got a load of page, and Relentless Magic.
Yes.
Relentless Magic. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, listening, and hanging out with us, giving us that love, giving us those compliments. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. You know how to make a girl feel important. So yeah, and have a good night, Andy Don says. Dave says, oh, and one more thing. I'm having a great dick day. Pause says, what's good? Hey, Pause. Tony and Heather, how are ya? And going to bed to dream about you. What? What does it say? About you what? You all? About you all. Pause says, amen, Dave. You too. All right. On that note, thank you guys so much again for tuning in, hanging out with us. We love you so much. We appreciate you so much. And we will see you again next Thursday. But in the meantime, remember, keep it weird.